Do you remember these faces? They were a part of our childhood. They were kids who seemed to have it all: talent, fame, and a bright future, with a red carpet laid out before them. We watched them grow up on screen, laughing at their witty lines and admiring their confidence. For millions of children around the world, they weren't just actors or singers. They were icons. But in the world of Hollywood, the golden ticket into the dream world often comes with a price that no one sees. The pressure to be perfect, the loss of a normal childhood, the constant scrutiny of the public, and when the stage lights go out, a completely different reality begins. Today, we won't look back at them with judgment or criticism. We'll look back at them with understanding. This is not a story about where are they now. This is the story of 10 resilient journeys, 10 inner battles, and 10 people who had to struggle to rediscover themselves after being swept into the whirlwind of fame too early. This is the true cost of being a child star. If you agree with these insights and feel that the true value of a star lies in the journey they've been through, leave a 1 in the comments. If you don't fully agree, leave a 0, so we can discuss this story further. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us in continuing to bring you meaningful and emotional stories. Now let's keep following the next developments. In the late 90s, if Nick Carter was the king of boy bands, then Aaron Carter was the pop music prince. The blonde-haired boy with the bright smile stole the hearts of an entire generation with hits like I Want Candy and Aaron's Party. He was the younger brother of a Backstreet Boys star, and it seemed like his path was destined for greatness. But the pressure on a 10-year-old to become the family's breadwinner and maintain a perfect image was unimaginable. Fame came too quickly, and it left just as fast. When the pop music bubble burst, Aaron found himself feeling lost. The following years were a public struggle. We didn't just witness musical efforts. We saw a person fighting. From financial problems and complicated family conflicts to a relentless battle with addiction and mental health issues, Aaron frequently shared his thoughts on social media, an act that was both a cry for help and a desperate attempt to connect. The changes in his appearance that the public often commented on were in fact a reflection of the deeper wounds inside. When he suddenly passed away in 2022 at the age of 34, it wasn't an unexpected shock, but a tragedy long foretold. Aaron's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how the entertainment industry can lift a child to great heights, but lacks the mechanisms to catch them when they fall. Now his legacy is carried on by his family through efforts to raise awareness about mental health, hoping that his tragedy can save others. Saved by the Bell was a phenomenon, and Lisa Turtle, portrayed by Lark Voorhees, became the fashion icon of Bayside High. She was smart, sharp, and always one step ahead. Lark brought a vibrancy to the character that audiences couldn't help but love. But after the final bell rang, Lark slowly withdrew from the spotlight. For many years, her absence sparked countless rumors. When she made her return, the public was surprised by the changes. What they didn't realize, however, was that they were witnessing a silent battle. Lark's mother later revealed that the actress was living with bipolar disorder. What the tabloids called erratic behavior, or changing appearance, was actually the manifestation of a complex medical condition. The pressure to maintain the perfect Lisa Turtle image while dealing with a mental health illness was an unimaginable burden. Lark chose privacy over fame. She found comfort in writing and her faith. Her transformation wasn't a collapse. It was a redefinition of herself. She courageously confronted her illness and opted for a quiet life away from Hollywood's judgment. Her story is a lesson in compassion, reminding us that we can never truly know the battles others are facing behind closed doors. In 1991, an unknown 13-year-old boy was chosen from thousands to play John Connor in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Edward Furlong was more than just an actor. He was the embodiment of a rebellious generation. With his rugged looks and natural talent, he soared to Hollywood stardom overnight. But it was a peak that was too steep and too slippery. Unprepared and without guidance, Edward was thrust into an adult world full of dangerous temptations. His battle with addiction began early and quickly spiraled out of control. Instead of landing blockbuster roles, his name began appearing in the headlines for all the wrong reasons: arrests, legal issues, and repeated stints in rehab. His appearance, once celebrated, was ravaged by years of substance abuse. It was a stark transformation, an outward reflection of the inner storm he was enduring. But Edward Furlong's story didn't end there. The most remarkable thing about him wasn't his downfall, but his comeback. After years spent in the shadows, Edward found the strength to change. He successfully overcame addiction and even rebuilt his teeth, not for Hollywood, but for himself. In 2025, at 47, Edward Furlong is steadily rebuilding his life and career. His story isn't a cautionary tale, but a testament to the power of recovery. It shows that even after the Judgment Day, there is always hope. If there was someone born to make us laugh, it was Amanda Bynes. From All That to The Amanda Show, she was a comedic genius, smart, charming, and with an incredible ability to command the stage at just 10 years old, she quickly made her mark. She effortlessly transitioned to film with movies like What a Girl Wants and She's the Man. But the weight of being the golden girl was immense. Amanda openly spoke about the pressure she felt to portray perfect roles while struggling with body image and insecurity. She announced her retirement in 2010, but that was just the beginning of a tumultuous period in her life. In the years that followed, the world witnessed what the media called a breakdown. Erratic tweets, shocking changes in her appearance, and legal troubles. But behind the chaos was a young woman struggling with a bipolar disorder diagnosis and substance abuse. She wasn't losing her mind, she was sick. After years under conservatorship, Amanda Bynes has now regained control of her life. She's focusing on her passion for fashion design and healing. Amanda's transformation is a powerful reminder of the toll mental health takes in an industry that demands eternal perfection. Her journey is still ongoing, and this time she's doing it on her own terms, away from the public eye. Do you remember the adorable Cindy Lou, who with the quirky hair in How the Grinch Stole Christmas? That was Taylor Momsen, a sweet, innocent face. Later we saw her again in Gossip Girl as Jenny Humphrey. But while Hollywood wanted to cast her as a princess, Taylor had a different plan. Her transformation wasn't a tragedy or a breakdown, it was a personal revolution. Taylor walked away from acting to pursue her true passion, rock music. The image of the wide-eyed little girl disappeared, replaced by a powerful lead singer with dark eyeliner leather outfits and a commanding voice. Her band, The Pretty Reckless, found great success, topping rock charts. Many were shocked by the contrast. But for Taylor, it wasn't rebellion, it was authenticity. She made it clear that acting was a job, but music was who she truly was. Taylor Momsen's transformation is a rare success story of a child star who refused to let her past define her and courageously carved out an entirely new path, one where she truly belonged. If you agree with this point of view, leave a 1 in the comments. If you disagree, comment 0 and share your thoughts with us. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub to support us. And now let's continue to follow the next developments. Perhaps no child star is more iconic than Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone wasn't just a movie, it was a global cultural phenomenon. Kevin McAllister turned Macaulay into the most famous and wealthiest child in the world. But that boy quickly became a cautionary tale. Legal battles with his parents over money, a stalled career, and photos of a gaunt, weary-looking young man in his 20s painted a picture of a child star in decline. Rumors of substance abuse surrounded him. Macaulay did what few dare to do. He disappeared. He left Hollywood for nearly a decade to live a normal life. He wanted to rediscover himself not as Kevin, but as Mac. And a miracle happened. In 2025, at 44 years old, Macaulay Culkin is in a place of fulfillment. He's healthy, sober, and a happy father of 2 children with actress Brenda Song. He has returned to the public eye, but on his own terms through podcasts, quirky art projects, and selective acting roles. Macaulay's transformation is a triumph. He didn't just survive the Hollywood storm, he found peace after it. For millions of Saved by the Bell fans, Dustin Diamond will always be Samuel Screech Powers, the quirky yet lovable nerd. He was an integral part of the show, bringing laughter and a unique charm to the character. But Dustin's tragedy was that he could never escape the shadow of Screech. After the show ended, his co-stars moved on to other careers while he remained forever typecast. In an attempt to shake off that image, Dustin made desperate and controversial choices, a tell-all book about the truth behind the scenes, which he later admitted was exaggerated, a sex tape, and appearances on reality TV. These actions, instead of helping him break free, only dragged him deeper. Legal troubles, including a prison sentence, marked the later years of his life. The changes in his appearance reflected a life full of struggles and regret. Sadly, just as it seemed he was trying to turn his life around, Dustin was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and passed away quickly in 2021 at the age of 44. Dustin Diamond's story is a tragedy of typecasting, a tale of an industry that used a child for laughter and then discarded him when he was no longer useful. Over the course of 10 years, Angus T. Jones grew up before our eyes as Jake Harper on 2.5 Men. We watched him transform from a chubby, adorable child into a teenager. At the height of his career, he was the highest-paid child actor on television. He had it all. And then, he gave it all up. In 2012, Angus had a profound religious awakening. He publicly condemned the show that made him famous, calling it junk, and urged people to stop watching. This statement shook Hollywood. Angus walked away from acting, leaving millions of dollars behind to pursue his spiritual path. When he reappeared, the public hardly recognized him. The young man from the sitcom had been replaced by a man with a thick beard living a simple life. Many called it a waste, but for Angus, it was salvation. He wasn't destroyed by addiction or scandals. He consciously chose a different path, one that he believed held more meaning than fame and money. Angus T. Jones' story is one of the strangest and most profound renunciations of fame in Hollywood, a reminder that success has many different definitions. Do you remember Judy Winslow, the youngest daughter in Family Matters? For the first 4 seasons, she was a part of the family, and then one day she disappeared. No explanation, no goodbye. Her character was written out of the show as if she had never existed. This disappearance marked the beginning of Jamie Foxworth's tragic journey. Cast aside by the industry while still a teenager, Jamie struggled to find work. The financial strain and mental health crisis pushed her into desperate choices. To make a living, she entered the adult film industry. This led to substance abuse and a long battle with addiction. The innocence of Judy Winslow was replaced by a harsh reality. But Jamie's story, like many others, is one of survival. After hitting rock bottom, she found the strength to rebuild her life. She overcame addiction and now openly shares her experiences, warning young people about the traps of the industry. Jamie Foxworth's journey highlights the brutality of Hollywood, but also the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. From The Parent Trap to Mean Girls, Lindsay Lohan was it. She had the talent, beauty, and undeniable charisma. She was the star every girl wanted to be and every guy wanted to date. But she also became the perfect example of too much too soon. The pressure from the paparazzi, the never-ending party life, bad influences, and family issues turned her Hollywood dream into a public nightmare. We witnessed it all: the drunken episodes, arrests, stints in rehab, and court appearances. For years, Lindsay Lohan was the favorite target of tabloids. Every stumble she made was documented and ridiculed. But what many didn't realize was that throughout all of that, she was still fighting. After years of chaos, Lindsay made a smart move. She left the U.S. She moved to Dubai, a place with stricter paparazzi laws, in search of peace. And she found it. In 2025, Lindsay Lohan made a remarkable comeback. She got married, had children, and returned to acting with a calm and professional attitude. She was no longer the party girl. She was a survivor. Lindsay's story isn't about how many times she fell, but about how she always got back up. "10 stars, 10 stories, each with their own journey. Some found salvation in faith, others in art, some in family, and sadly, some never had that chance. These stories force us to ask, as an audience, what role do we play in this? Are we the ones consuming tabloid news, judging their appearances, unintentionally adding pressure to shoulders that were far too young? Fame as a child is not a golden ticket. It's a two-sided coin. On one side is the dream, on the other is a very high price. As we look back on these childhood idols, let's do so with compassion. Because behind every legend, every tragedy, and every comeback is a real person doing their best to find the light after the stage lights have gone out. If you agree that we need to view these stories with empathy, leave a 1 in the comments. If you disagree, leave a 0 and share your perspective. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us in bringing more authentic and emotional stories. Now let's continue following the next developments.